think that the levity part of teams is important, right? So I think having a little bit of that, like we're all real people, we're all doing real things, but we don't have to be so serious doing it, which is my downfall. I typically am the serious one. I was laughing thinking about your Disrupt HR presentation because the first time I did mine, it was the opposite problem. I was like, oh no, everybody's being funny and I have no jokes. So I hope this doesn't totally fall flat on its face. I managed to on the fly work some, funny scenarios in there, but not real jokes. So, but anyway, Tracie, I think, I will ask one more maybe potentially serious topic just because I know that you have a really great experience in this. So now it's going to feel disjointed to our podcast listeners, but hopefully they'll give me a little bit of a leeway with this after we're coming off of the levity of jokes. But one of the things that you have great experience in, and I want to make sure our listeners hear is, especially kind of right now, right? All of our team members have different schedules. Some might be working from home. Some might be in the office. There's hybrid, so maybe I'm in the office a couple of days. You also in your role have a company where people may be hourly, maybe salaried, maybe part-time, maybe contractors. So a lot of times leaders will ask us and, kind of, hey, I want to build a team and I want to make sure everybody feels included. But how do I do that with various schedules, with various locations, like the constraints that may be within different roles? So, not everybody's working the day shift from 9 to 5. Some people are working at night in a different time zone. How do you kind of manage that as a leader and as a people leader specifically, making kind of it easy for all the team members to kind of feel like they're part of the community and participate in a lot of the team events or team kind of discussions?
It's really hard. That's something I think we still haven't totally cracked the code, but I'll tell you what's worked well for us. And every year, and we only bring the whole company together once a year. And we do it on a voluntary basis. And we have our annual meeting. For the last 2 years, it was virtual. But prior to that, we pick a location that's right in the middle of all of our other locations. So some people are barely driving at all. Some people are driving as far as 3 hours, but we try to pick it centrally located. And then we do a big dinner. We do a kind of state of the company. A few years ago, we added in a lot of fun elements. One year we did a trivia contest, and then we give away a whole bunch of prizes. A couple years ago, we added in a charitable component where people could put together the bags for kids who are in foster homes, and just, so they'd have a blanket and a teddy bear and things like that. And we usually have 70-ish% of our team go. We shut the far-flung locations down early, pay people for the rest of the day. And then again, it's totally voluntary and it's just our team members coming and getting together, and people love that. So that's kind of our one event that we will continue forever because it's one of the best things we do. We kind of share a state of the company. We usually have a funny video that we've made up and a few jokes and make it a couple of hours, free food, free drinks for a limited period of time. And it's been great. We do usually in normal years, several customer events where most of our people in our locations come together and get to see others from their locations. And then either by region or by location, we tend to do events there. And that's because we are so dispersed that it's really hard to do that. So, but the key there is, asking people and not assuming. So not everybody wants to get together outside of work. So are there things that we can do within the workplace, right? Like I don't drink. So the amount of, virtual wine tastings that I've been invited to is crazy. So you have to kind of know your audience, right? What do people like? And for the most part, our teams do that really, really well. And then you find other ways. So if we can't physically bring people together, can we virtually bring them together? So, we do things as a people team. We have now virtual benefits orientations that we started last year that actually went really well. We found that people like just getting on camera and chatting with other people all around the company. And so we're still figuring that out. But I think the key is listen to your people. Don't assume, like really ask what they want to do. Some people just want to go home at the end of the day and spend time with their family. Some people want to hang out with others after work. Some people are totally game to do something, but only if it's during work hours. So I'm a big fan of keeping it to the work hours. And definitely personalize it for your people.
That's awesome.
I
Well,
don't think I answered that, but it's hard. That's one of the harder things that we're still trying to crack.
no, I think you answered it, and I think it is hard, right? And I think that alone is what our listeners need to hear, right? I think a lot of times people come on podcasts and they're like, "Oh, I've got all these answers," but the thing that we often shy away from is like, no, it's really just it's genuinely hard, right? It's hard to be a
Yeah,
leader. It's hard. It's hard things that we try to manage every day, and I think recognizing that and saying, "Hey, I don't have all the answers, but I'm going to ask my team." And we'll figure this out together is probably the best advice we could give somebody just in terms
yeah,
of there is no magic bullet, right? These are some
right,
difficult things, and to your point, I've seen organizations that I've worked in handle it different ways as well, right? Like maybe they'll do, they'll bring in lunch or dinner depending on the shift, right? Like what time of day it is. They'll bring it in, and then people have like an extended time where they can just sit around and chit chat and kind of have that together time, but it's not outside of the work hours. I've seen
right,
leaders do early morning coffees, but also do after work, kind of appetizers or something, and do if oftentimes I think for the leader it means you have to go that extra mile and be available a few times during the day and different times of the day and different
right.
days of the week, and that's what's required. But I think that's really important to make everybody feel included and kind of get that feedback. So I think your answer was great.
Yeah. And don't overthink it. Sometimes we're inventing problems that we don't have, and it may be a much simpler solution than we're thinking.